Across these waters on a clear day, the Manhattan skyline can dazzle your imagination. The buildings that stand tall, and especially the ones that have unusual shapes, stand out. And on blue, misty days, the tops of buildings disappear into the low hanging clouds, making it look like a faraway dream. Little past twilight, when the darkness soon begins to settle in, the slight glow behind these giant towering structures creates a glow. But soon the darkness settles in. The dark sky makes the city lights twinkle like jewels. Being inside this concrete and glass jungle, looking upwards is a sight to behold. Busy New Yorkers, perhaps many of us, are so engrossed in the daily grind, miss the show high above us. We have to have our eyes on the road.
I'm Frederick D'Souza. I've been driving a yellow cab in New York City for more than 20 years. I know this city like the back of my hand. This coronavirus pandemic has devastated our business. Let me take you around town so you can see its effects it has on the city and on our business. While I take you around, my friend Michael will photograph and explain what we are seeing.
Way in the distance, as you can see, is the famous Empire State Building. The closer it gets, one could sense we are getting closer and closer to all the action. But to get onto the island, we need to cross over a bridge or a tunnel. The pandemic has thinned out the flow of traffic. Stretches of the avenues and streets are bare. Nowadays it's a breeze to ride through this metropolis. Some folks look like they are in a holiday mood, or so it may seem that way. As we drive through the city so comfortably, you will notice there are hardly any cabs on the street. I mean hardly any that I can see. The silver lining to this crisis is the ease to move around and to admire the city like never before. The old structures blend in so well with the new ones. They never feel out of place. This is Penn Station. This is probably one of the places we see a line of cabs waiting. A lot of them say that's the Cabbies, The wait is at least 45 minutes to an hour to pick up a fare. And these fares are usually short rides, mind you. Having had a feel of the city, let's take you into the boroughs of New York City. We will visit the airports, which are a very vital aspect to the yellow cab business. We will roam the streets, in and out, check out some of the yellow cab garages, and see what we can find. As we continue on, try to observe the traffic, and you will notice there are hardly any cabs anywhere on the roads. There are approximately 13,000 medallions and about 50,000 drivers licensed by the New York City Taxi and Limousine Commission, which is the governing body of all livery services in the city. This is a business full of immigrants. It's a business where many are transient in nature, or should I say, many use this as a stopgap. We are now entering John F. Kennedy International Airport. Before the crisis, every day hundreds or perhaps over 1,000 flights took off and landed here. It is one of the busiest airports in the country. This airport has 6 terminals that function. At the present moment, it looks like just one terminal, which is Terminal 4, is functioning. It is also called the main international terminal. Just a few flights land and take off, it seems, at this time. This is Terminal 1. As you can see, with just a vehicle parked, it feels vacant. There is nothing going on here. Since all the other terminals are exactly like this, we will skip over to Terminal 4. This is Terminal 4. Although it is functioning, as you can see, it feels like nothing is going on, with just 2 or 3 cars parked. This is Terminal 4 arrivals. Usually 2 rows of cabs would be lined up here, but way in the distance you can see a few cabs waiting in line. Let us drive past them, and then I can take you to the holding lot. This is the holding lot at JFK Airport. Look at this. Looks like a wasteland. Feels like one of those Rust Belt cities after the big factories shut down and left town. That building you see there is the canteen. The canteen that used to be hustling and bustling is now closed. This lot holds around about, let's say, 800 cabs at a time. Now this lot has narrowed down to just about a line, or should I say, little more than a line. When I asked some of these guys, they told me they wait for hours. Some 4 to 5 hours. What a torture. Just imagine. Now let's exit and check out LaGuardia Airport. This is a smaller airport mainly dealing with domestic flights. We are on the Van Wyck Expressway. It is the main thoroughfare in and out of JFK. The large concrete support columns which you see are for the air train shuttle, which transports passengers back and forth to subways and trains, to the city and elsewhere. This is a new addition. Despite that, under normal circumstances, no matter which day of the week it is, this road will be looking like a parking lot. But now, we have a chance to race through. As you can see, all this construction, for years LaGuardia Airport has been under a major redevelopment project. But for our present state of affairs, this place during peak hours would have been a nightmare to get around. Due to this, arriving passengers are bused to the taxi holding lot. As we are passing through a couple of terminals, you will get the sense of how desolate this place is. Next, let's visit the taxi holding lot, where passengers are bused to pick up a cab. As we drive through this empty lot, not much needs to be said. Here too, a row of cabs waiting in a lot patiently. As we zigzag through these neighborhoods, we begin to find all those taxi cabs that are missing on the roads. What usually pack the streets and airport parking lots are all here. I guess never before for this long a time have we ever seen something like this happen. Some of these individuals own hundreds of medallions which they lease out to garages like these you see, and some are driver owners. Just before 2013, the price of a medallion was about $1.25 million. Yeah, you heard me right. $1.25 million. But then with the advent of Uber, Lyft and other services, the value tanked. One driver last year was offered $100,000 for his medallion. So you can imagine the drop in price. This is a tremendous loss for owners. Some drivers committed suicide. The devastation it did for so many that had a dream. This has taken away at least 35% of the business from the yellow cabs. And for about 5 years, these services, that's Uber, Lyft, and the other services, added so much more traffic onto the already busy roads. So much for green, I guess. There are 5 of these services to 1 yellow cab. That's right, 5:1. That's the ratio at the present moment.
People is scared. They does not pick the car. Some people emergency they took the pick up the car, and some old. I see maximum people is old people pick up the car. I found the sick people they pick the car.
So you're not scared that those people are sick? They may spread the virus to me. You're not scared?
No, I'm not scared. Either the government law. I use the mask. I use the mask. I'm not happy, but I get the only pandemic money. I have 2 kids and my wife, 3,400. But I'm the working. I working. So if I stop work, but I lose my car. They took the medallion. So that is I work.
After talking to drivers and a garage owner, the feeling is hope and prayer for the business to come back. To encapsulate, it's the airports, offices, restaurants and bars, not forgetting the tourists, that are all an integral part for this business to function well. Any one of them missing would affect the outcome tremendously. Some of the drivers estimate it would take over a year for it all to come back. Or who knows how the behavior and patterns of people, businesses will change things. For those who have stayed this far, we'd like to thank you. We really hope this video was helpful and informative. If you have any questions, comments or suggestions, kindly leave us a note. Your interest in this video may encourage us to do more like this. Perhaps more of the city from a different perspective. We could show you so many things about New York. After all, we are New Yorkers and we love the city. And we can show you the city best. Once again, many thanks. Till we meet again, thank you once again.